This time we've got the champion Anthony Cacace versus the challenger Lyon Woodstock. This one feels like it's been scheduled and cancelled more times than a COVID holiday. We're here. Are you excited for it?
Absolutely. I mean, it's one of those fights. Guys, can you keep it down, please? Thanks. It's been made and rescheduled, as you said, quite a few times. Obviously, I think the original date for this was March 2020, and then a few bits and pieces happening along the way, but finally we're here. And I think it's a great fight. Again, it's you've got two very, very tough men who are going to be in the ring, face each other on Saturday night, and two guys that I think have been out of the ring for battles at the same time as each other. Obviously Anthony had a terrific performance against Sam Bowen to win the title, and Lyon had a just a little comeback fight after a disappointing night against Alpha Barrett, but they're both sure going to take this massive opportunity and put on a great show.
You mentioned they've both been out of the ring a similar amount of times. I'm going to start with Anthony. It's been a while since we've seen you.
Yeah, it's been a while.
November 2019.
Yeah.
Do you worry come Saturday that you might be a little rusty going into this one?
Absolutely not. I mean, I've been boxing for 20 years. It's like, it comes second nature to me. It's like, it's like going to work. It's easy. I mean, not at all. I mean, I'm well used to this. It's a big stage. I'm just raring to go.
That's my next question was going to be, are you excited to be back, back in the ring, right?
I can't wait. I felt like I was never going to defend that there. It's bad luck after bad luck. But now it's here. It's happening. I'm training very hard. I'm ready for everything that Lyon Woodstock can bring.
Most fighters had a sort of adjustment and readjustment period during COVID where they fought with fans, then they were fighting without fans, and now they have to adjust to being back in front of the fans. You've actually missed all that. But did you find it difficult keeping yourself fresh throughout the 2 years off?
No, I didn't. It's again, I say it's like a job. I train every day. Obviously I take a wee break every now and again, but I mean, no, it's just again second nature. Boxing, that's all I know. It's all I've done for years. It's no problem at all.
Obviously, you won the British title fight then in your last fight against Sam Bowen in this very arena.
Yeah.
Does that give you an advantage coming into this fight, being back in the same place?
No, not really, but it feels good to be back here. It's a great city, and it's actually the same hotel and all the same surroundings. But I would say it would be more for Lyon. I think Lyon lives down the street. He's not too far away from here. So, I mean, I travel from Belfast. I don't get fights in Belfast. I'm always having to travel, and it would be good to get home and do it sometime soon.
I did see a previous head-to-head interview you did with Lyon, I think before one of the rescheduled dates, where you said this was going to be an all-out war. And obviously we speak to you today, you're very calm, you're very collected, very polite. Do you see yourself in that warrior mould? Is this going to be meet in the middle and go to war? I
do what I want with Lyon, whatever I want. He can bring whatever he wants, but I know I see what he can bring. I've watched him, I've watched previous fights, unless he has changed drastically and improved, and he's a complete different fighter. I know what they expect of him. I can fight him, I can box him, I can do what I want. I respect him, which is the thing, and I respect what he brings to the table, like I do every other fighter, but I'm ready, and I know he is.
We did a press conference a couple of weeks ago in Birmingham. You weren't able to make it, obviously, because you were over in Belfast. Lyon said to Deb then that this was his judgment day. This was where he finds out about himself.
Yeah.
Are you ready for someone that committed to this?
Absolutely. Fight? Everyone. I mean, he's had opportunities before, and he knows it. And he knows that he has to bring everything here and do everything he can. And I know that. So, 100%. Bring it all.
And so, I guess the question before I move on to Lyon. How do you see this fight ending on Saturday?
Me winning. It doesn't matter what way, whether I knock him out. But one thing that I know for sure is that I've got the power to put you to sleep. So I've also got the boxing skills to outbox for 12 rounds. But it's an Apache win.
Right, an Apache win. I know one man in the room who might disagree with that. There we go. Lyon, you've spoken in quite strong terms about, like I say, this being your judgment day, about the commitment you've got going into this fight. Do you think that gives you an edge, willing to lay it all on the line in this fight?
I don't think it gives me an edge in a sense, do you know what I mean? Because I know there's going to be many fighters that have had the same mentality going into fights, you know what I'm saying, and not came out with double what. Like, to answer your question, I'd say my mindset and what I envision in my head and what I've been working on and what I've been doing, I'm more than comfortable. You know what I mean? I'm more than confident as well that I'm going to take the people.
Obviously, you've actually been out the ring longer than Anthony. You were June 2019, he was November 2019. Anthony says he's not worried about ring rust. Are you?
I don't really believe in the whole idea of ring rust, really, you know what I mean? Because we're fighters, we're both warriors, you get me? In my mind, it's just like, it's a tribal thing. It's my tribe against his tribe, do you know what I mean? And as I've already said in previous interviews, I respect him as a warrior and as a gladiator, because that's what we are today, we're new age gladiators. And on that night, that's what you're going to see, the two tribes are going to come together and we're going to go to war.
Obviously, in your last fight, you lost a decision to Zalfa Barrett. Is that out of your mind now? Is this a fresh start, or have you got something to prove on Saturday?
I don't really feel like I have anything to prove apart from to myself. And the loss to Zalfa, in life things happen, you get what I'm saying? Like, I believe we exist to experience the good, the bad, the highs, the lows, and that's what grows your character, do you know what I mean? So that was just another part of the story on my journey, so it's all good.
I mean, you speak about your journey there. I've heard you speak about that before, and in boxing circles, you are sort of known as a deep thinker. You've spoken about your spiritual journey before, after your loss to Zalfa. Have you thought about what comes next if you were to win this fight? What's the next step on your journey?
I think I've already answered this in the interview I did with Dev. I ain't fought further than the 28th. Like, people have asked me, like, what you're doing after, what do you see yourself doing, who do you want to fight, and hand on my heart, I've not fought past the 28th, because that's my final day, that's judgment day to me, you know what I mean? So I ain't fought further than that, it's everything, you know what I mean, all or nothing.
So on the 28th, on Saturday, I spoke to Anthony. Anthony said the way he sees it ending is he wins. In every which way he thinks he beats
And I
you.
wouldn't expect him to say anything less, do you know what I mean? He's a fighter, do you know what I mean? We've all got pride, we've all got honour. Well, I say all, most of us do you know what I mean? But he's a man of his words, do you know what I mean? And he actually messaged me on Instagram because we spoke after the last time that the fight got made, and he was like, yo, regardless of what happens, we will step in the ring together, do you know what I mean? And he's a man of his word, do you know what I mean? We're getting in the ring Saturday, and I respect that.
That's going to be my next one. I was going to ask, do you respect the fact that, as the champion, he's waited around for this fight in the same way you have?
Yo, listen, if any two fighters in this game have gone through so many trials and tribulations, it's me and him, trust. So to get in the ring and to compete for such a prestigious title, you know what I mean, and to share the ring with another great fighter, as I see myself as a great fighter, it's just going to bring blessings, man, and it's going to be a great fight and very fan favourite, you know what I mean.
They've signed for Trinity as well.
I'm up for that.
Obviously, you're very excited to get in the ring. We've discussed how it's been a while for both of you.
Yeah.
He says he sees a win. The stupidest question in boxing, but I presume you see the win for yourself as well.
Of course, I wouldn't put myself through the stuff I put myself through. I abuse my body every single day, do you know what I mean, to become the man that I am. And yo, I wouldn't be doing that if I weren't seeing my hand getting raised at the end.
Do you want to tell people how you're going to win?
By being myself, honestly.
So we're going to do a face-off with these two again in a minute. I want to come back to Francis one more time. Another British title fight, another exciting fight. Two people that seem raring to go. You know both these guys really well. Tell people at home why they should buy a ticket or why they should watch on BT Sport.
Well, I mean, they've got the utmost respect for each other, and I think you'll see it in the ring on Saturday. Not that it'll be a timid affair. I think they've got two warriors. I think at quite different stages of their career as well. I think, you know, Lyon, where he says he's got something to prove to himself, but you know, he's stepped up a couple of times and it's not gone his way. And I think it's, you know, one of those, another opportunity for him to show that he should be at this level and kicking on. I think Anthony, you know, it was a great win against Sam Bowen to win the title, and if he beats Lyon, I think he's cleared up. I think so. You know, at domestic level, we'll be knocking on the door for European and getting onto world rankings. So, two guys at very, very different stages of their career. But in the same vein, you know, very, very close to each other. I think, you know, it's a very intriguing fight in terms of, you know, in that respect. But for me, it's two guys have waited around to fight and to box each other, to prove who's the best. I don't think you can sum it up better than either of both guys have said. They respect each other, but they're going to go to war. And that's what fight fans want to see.
Exactly that. So another great fight on BT Sport on Saturday night. These two are now going to face off, and then we're going to bring up Anthony Yard.